I've been using and abusing a very controlled substance for a very long time. I thought I got over my addiction, but no, I've fallen back to addiction. The controlled substance in question is anime. I know. Such a dangerous substance. And I'm addicted to it again. I've been watching animes again. And I thought when I stopped, when my addiction stopped, I thought I had watched all that anime had to offer. But no. Oh my humble mind could not even comprehend what he has not watched. So yeah, I'm addicted to anime back again, and it's because I've found newer animes, not newer, but animes with high quality animation, story to watch, and well, I hadn't watched them, so I started watching them, and I'm watching currently. I've watched two animes, like binged two animes, and I'm halfway, not even halfway, maybe a quarter through the second anime. The first that I watched was Dungeon Meshi, also known as Delicious in Dungeon. I watched the dub of it. The dub was honestly pretty good considering I had both the dub and the subtitles on, and they've matched pretty well most of the time. And I had a blast watching it. Comedy mostly slapped, at least in the first half. Comedy hit every single time. The animation, gorgeous, truly gorgeous. The world building, kind of slow. The main story was kind of slowly told, but hey, what could you expect? It was an anime about eating good food. Remember, good food in the dungeon. Some may even say delicious food in dungeon. Besides point. And another thing that I watched was Oshinoko, also known as My Star. If you want to find it, these are the names for the shows. If you can't find it using the Japanese name, use English name. And Oshinoko, or My Star, is fairly good as far as I've watched. The first episode is great. Like the animation goes from fine to great to peak pretty quickly. But considering it's an hour long episode, like the first episode is an hour long, the animation does not get is not always the best, but for the most part the animation is good, but the story is even better. As- if I explain the story, it kind of isn't that good in hindsight. The main premise isn't that good. So the main premise of the story is there's a doctor who is a big fan of an idol, and one day that idol comes to his office pregnant, of course, and then he vows to her, the idol, that he would make sure that she delivers two healthy kids because she has twins. And by the way, spoilers. And then the day of the delivery comes, and he walks out, takes a walk, and then is killed by a fan of the star, and then it's reborn as one of the kids of the star. Comedy overall is fine for the most part. Like, it's good. It has its peaks and it has its valleys. It's good, but the actual animation sometimes not throughout the hour long first episode, not throughout, constant, but important scenes have great animation. Like their animation is sometimes is peak. Like I can't rave about this more. To me, one of the most important things that makes an anime worth watching is the animation. Because obviously, I'm a big fan of animation in general. If the animation isn't good, then there must be something that's worth watching. Well, most of the time there isn't something that could make up for the bad animation. Except Blue Lock. Blue Lock I got very interested in and I did not notice the bad animation at all. But besides that, it was mostly it to me what matters is the animation, the story, the characters. If one thing in these three isn't good, then made up for by something else. Like if the story isn't as good as it can be, then something like the animation must be better, good enough to make up the lost points that the story would have made up. And the concept is also very important. Like if the concept isn't good, then I'm just not gonna watch it because, well, I'm not interested. To me, I when I watch anime, I don't follow a 3 episode rule. I just watch the first episode and judge from there. And if the episode isn't good, then I won't watch it. But if I see praise for this show as a whole, and I then I will watch it just so I can accurately judge if I have, well, missed peak. So I have got fallen into addiction again. Anime is a addiction at this point of mine. Like I've talked about it before. Like I was no lifing this shit before when I was addicted previously. Now I will tone it down a bit. Like I know these are good series, but I should really tone it down. So I will, and I will watch it. Well, watch Oshinoko and complete it, and I will wait for Dungeon Meshi second season to come out and then watch it. Oddly, the Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon has very fun story. Like I really like the story. Like the story is spoilers ahead. The story is that these four adventurers, just lost one of their members who got eaten by a dragon. And in this story, you could revive anyone if it's inside the dungeon. So you could. That's the fair thing. So they rush back to the depths of the dungeon, find another teammate, the fourth team member, who is good at cooking monsters, dungeon monsters, and they go like 3 to 4 layers deep, and it's like halfway through, not halfway, even 11, 10 episodes in, you get the story, the actual story. Like you get the cold open, which is that there is a king of a great kingdom who went up to the surface, and the first people he met, he said, if you defeat the mad mage, you can become the king of my kingdom. It reminded me a lot of One Piece's, well, main plot, where Gold Roger says, if you find my treasure, you can have it. It reminds me a lot of that. Like when I watched it, the first thing that came to mind was, this reminds me a lot of One Piece. And then, as I went deeper, watched the show further, I just said, Yeah, this is not even close to One Piece except the cold open, which is like very much similar. But then, in 10 episodes, we get the backstory. We start to get tiddlywinks of the backstory of this dungeon, which is there was a king who had a kid who, and the king had a friend who was a elf, of course. And then we jumped a few years to the future, where the king's kid, the prince, is getting married, and then the king dies, which makes the mage go insane. And then a few more years into the future, the king's son becomes a king, and the mage is gone completely insane. And that's the story in a nutshell. And then the heroes have to defeat the mage. That's the story in a nutshell. So, yeah, it was interesting. And I have a few more lined up that I'm going to watch, which includes one of the absolute great shows. Like, I'm going to watch Soul Eater, then I'm going to watch Undead Unluck, then I'm going to watch Neo Genesis Evangelion, then I'm going to watch Code Geass, then I'm going to finish it off by watching Samurai Champloo. I've heard great things about every last one of these animes, so I will watch it. And if I find something that is interesting, that interests me in the same way, then I will watch it along the way. So, like this month to like 2 or 3 months, I will be finished with all of these. I would not even give them 2 months, maybe 1 month. That's all that it will take to finish these. I watch fast. And yeah, honestly, I have had a great experience with watching anime. I'm happy that I've watched all the animes that I have watched, especially One Piece. Like, I cannot stop raving about this. It was great. I just love One Piece. Like, I started watching it completely blind, and I finished it. And right before it, I watched Naruto. So back to back, long series as long as it gets. But in Naruto's case, I did not watch it completely blind. I watched a summary of the series that I did not understand whatsoever. Because out of context, you can't make sense of shit. But in context, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Except the ending. And the ending is horrible, and Boruto sucks. Well, as far as the first part of it sucks. Maybe the second part maybe is good, but again, it's not been animated, so I haven't watched it. And I will probably continue watching animes after I finish the list of animes that I've noted, that I've told you, until I finish most of the good animes, and then wait for better animes to either come out or for me to find them, and for them to have dubs, because if they don't have a dub, I will not watch it. For most of the new series that are coming out, the dubs are fairly good. Like, the latest series that I really watched, I really like watching, is Gacha Kuta. I know it has a fairly good dub. Like, most of the dubs that I've watched, at least for newer series, are fairly good. So I hope that I can find good dubs for these older series as well. So yeah, that's about it for me. Bye.